finally back to do an update. First, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for supporting me and all your kind comments from my last live pregnancy test video. It was so much appreciated, and you guys have no idea how much that actually helped me, because comments kept kind of coming, you know, even a few days after the test, and it was just so nice to feel your guys' love and support, because that was rough. Like, this time, even though I've had negative tests how many times, but this time was the hardest time to date, like, of these last 2 years of trying to get pregnant. Like, I don't know, I felt like I knew I was pregnant. You know, I had myself convinced, and then, you know, as much as in the back of my head I thought it might not happen this time, you know, like, when it didn't, the next day it hit me hard, and I am not gonna lie, I was in a bad place for these last couple of weeks. I was done, like, I didn't want to do it anymore. It just is so hard, like, it felt hopeless, and like it was never gonna be our turn, and, you know, I was done, I was over it. Like, I felt like, why should we continue to do these same things, and like nothing's working, and, you know, I don't want to put myself through this anymore, and I know my husband gets disappointed and sad, and I don't know, it was just really hard, but I'm feeling much better, and, you know, I'm not like completely like back to normal, feeling super great about it, but, you know, I know that this happens, and you're never gonna get there if you give up. So obviously can't give up. We are getting ready to start round 4 of our follow stim at the end of July. So I have my baseline July 21st just to make sure everything's okay. I'm really hoping I don't have any cysts left behind, but I'm thinking I might have to take another week of birth control, just because I've had a lot of, it's like TMI, but whatever, brown, like, spotting, almost like my body tries to compete with the birth control pill. Like, my ovaries are like, no, I want to do this, and the birth control is like, no, we should be doing that. And usually when that happens, I end up having a cyst, and then my cycle's delayed a little bit. But I'm hoping just like an extra week of the pill, if that. But spotting is getting better, and I shouldn't get AF until like usually the week of my baseline. So we'll see. Keep your fingers crossed for me that everything's okay, and my estrogen level is down, and those cysts aren't too big, that we can actually try again. Same dose of follow stim and everything as far as I know, same trigger shot. I am going to be taking the progesterone supplements, so I have those. With some really cool news. So I took my husband's insurance when we got married, because his insurance covered, you know, some infertility things, and we didn't know at the time. We were like, well, let's just take it in case we need it. Well, thank goodness we did, because we obviously need it. And they were covering like the shots and the blood work and the ultrasounds and everything, so we just took his insurance. Well, my work, I just got an email, actually right before I found out this cycle failed, that in January they are going to start covering 80% of IVF, which is awesome. Like, so obviously I'm going to be taking my insurance back and leaving my husband's as a secondary when open enrollment starts for us. We couldn't be happier. Like, this couldn't have come at a better time. Like, we're reaching kind of the end of the road with the follow stim timed intercourse, you know, things to do. Like, my husband and I discussed it. We're like, okay, we'll do this 2 more times, and then we're going to move on to IVF, and that's that. So, and then this came along. So I just feel like it's kind of a sign from God, like, everything's going to be okay. You know, there are other things to try, and I'm going to help you with that. So I'm so thankful that they were going to be covering it. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is I always pictured if I did IVF and I was going to put my body through all that I would transfer 2 embryos if we were lucky enough to have 2 to transfer. And one of the stipulations for my work's coverage is for people under 35, and I'm 31, and my birthday's not till June, so obviously, you know, still be in that range for a while. that you only can transfer one. And I Googled it after that, and statistically, I see their reasoning behind it. Like, there are less complications with a singleton pregnancy, you know, less chance of a preterm birth. Apparently, your preterm birth goes up tenfold with more than one, you know, child during your pregnancy. So I see where they're coming from, and I know some IVF clinics are pushing people that way. Like, if you have some embryos left to freeze and your embryos are healthy and it's looking like you'll get multiple tries out of that fresh cycle with frozen cycles afterwards. So I'm going to talk to my RE about that and see what he thinks. Like, I know your success rates are probably a little bit lower, but I mean, come on, like 80% of it's covered. Like, we called my husband's insurance just to see like what they did, and apparently they will still cover if you're doing IVF, all the medications, the ultrasounds, the blood work. They just will not cover anything to do with egg retrieval, embryo handling, or transfer, which is still great. Like, that's still amazing coverage, and I'm so thankful that they even do that. But obviously, like, getting 80% of the full cycle covered is so much better. So as much as I want to just say, I don't care, like, let's just pay for it, I want to transfer too, depending on what my RE says, I think I just need to put my emotional, like, I've got to be a mom, like, right away, you know, like, I've waited so long, like, I can't wait anymore. I think I just need to put that aside and realize that obviously the more sensible thing for us financially, and it's safer for me to carry a singleton pregnancy, safer for the baby. Like, I obviously need to give this a chance before I just, you know, ignore the fact that we're not going to be spending, you know, as much money. It's safer for me, safer for the babies. Like, I just need to put my own anxieties aside and just go with it and see if it works. And obviously, if it doesn't work, we will pay to try to transfer too. But yeah, like, that's our plan. So we should be able to fit 2 more cycles in before this starts. And I'm thinking probably, you know, if we do 2 more cycles, we're obviously not going to be able to start in January. It's probably going to be like February or March or something by the time we actually do our IVF cycle. But yeah, that's kind of exciting. You know, like, you just feel like you get stuck in the same place, like you're doing the same things and nothing's working. And to have this to look forward to, that it's, you know, actually going to be attainable for us. Not that we can't afford IVF, but we can't afford IVF with multiple tries. Like, we're not rich people, you know, like, and we made a commitment, like, amongst ourselves that we were not going to put ourselves in financial, like, ruin just to have a child, or have the chance to have a child, because it's no guarantee. Like, it's no guarantee this is going to work, and we can end up with nothing left in our bank accounts. Like, we could just completely wipe ourselves out and still end up with no baby at the end of the day. So to have this as an option where we can do multiple IVF cycles and not break the bank is amazing. Amazing, amazing for us to have this chance. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. You know, my meds arrived this morning, and I'm just trying to pull myself back together, remain hopeful, and, you know, this might work. We might not even go to IVF. I might be that person that takes an extra cycle or 2 with Follistim. You never know. My husband's semen analysis is great. There's no reason why I shouldn't be getting pregnant. So I just have to look forward and be hopeful and just thank God for the opportunity to try. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry I rambled on a little bit, but I just wanted to be real with you guys in the beginning about, you know, where I've been and, like, how hard this last couple of weeks has been for me. And again, I'm just so thankful for you guys. And big congrats to you, Marianne. You just got your VFP, and I'm really happy for you. And I just watched your video on telling your parents, and your mom is adorable. And I'm just thrilled for you guys. So I will talk to you guys later when I do my baseline. I'll update you guys with, you know, if there was any problems or the blood work or all that kind of stuff that's going to happen with that. So thanks for watching and supporting me, and I will talk to you later. Bye guys.